Hand mopping in schools. Even if you own an auto scrubber, there's certain areas of the building that need to be hand mopped, whether it's kitchen areas, large areas, and certainly in the winter months around front entranceways that need to be hand mopped with a mop and bucket. My own personal unscientific survey tells me that over 90% of you are still using something that looks somewhat like this bucket here. A single cavity mop bucket with a wringer equipped with a cotton or a cotton blended mop. Now this is my 4th video tonight and I'm getting a little punchy, but I'm going to tell you, this insanity has to stop now. This makes absolutely no sense. We refer to this as a cleaning tool, but it does anything but clean floors. Think about it for a minute. We dip the mop into the clean solution, we go clean an area, pick up ice melter at a front entranceway, or God forbid we go into the boys' room and pick up the urine, since we all know how bad at Ames we are, and we go pick up that material, we wring it out into our clean solution, so therefore it doesn't take very long to have contaminated water. So now we're spreading ice melter around, we're spreading urine around, or we're just spreading dirt and grease around the buildings rather than getting it up off the floor, which is what we should be doing if we had true cleaning tools. Again, this has to stop. This is archaic. This is way past its time and needs to be eliminated. Here's our choices. 2 different mouse traps. Here's a smaller profile, which is a divided bucket. Here's a larger version that's a double bucket. They're both conceptually the same in that we separate our clean from our dirty water, and the only difference is one is a little bit easier to clean out, which I'll point out. This divided bucket can be used with either a string mop or a flat mop, as you see here, and it can be very effective. But I'm going to focus in and show you the double bucket method today. We have 2 independent buckets. On the clean side, we put our chemical solution. Neutral floor cleaner, neutral disinfectant, peroxide-based cleaner, whatever your particular choice in chemical is. On the side, underneath the wringer, and I'm hesitating to call it the dirty side because I prefer to call it the flushing tank side. And I'll explain why in a minute. We put about a gallon of water or just over the mop, whichever comes first. And that's clear water. So, the way this operates is, I'm going to wring out my mop so that I can prepare it to go into the clean chemical side. And this is what you're all accustomed to doing anyway. I saturate my mop thoroughly. I give it a nice little wring so that it's not dripping, but it's pretty saturated so I can go clean a nice amount of square footage. And I'll begin my cleaning or mopping by framing an area and working inside the frame. Go ahead now and feel free to critique my figure 8 motion. Flip over the mop to the other side. There's this little area next to the mop or next to the mat. Now here's where I'm going to suggest something that's different from what you're doing now with a traditional single cavity mop bucket. Before you wring this mop out, and by the way, make a nice shot here so you can see all the dirt and ice melter residue that I picked up on that mop. Before I even wring that off, I'm going to take advantage of one of the properties of microfiber that some people miss, and that is that microfiber picks up more soil than cotton or cotton blended mops, but if you can put it into liquid, submerge it, and flush it, it will release the soil better than cotton and cotton blended material. So again, I'm putting it on the flushing tank side, and I'm just going to give it a couple pushes there, a couple flushes, and then I'm going to bring it up and wring it out. If you feel compelled to flush it a second time, feel free. But I think you can see, again, bring the camera in here. That soil is released off that mop, and now I have a clean mop to come back into my clean solution side to continue on mopping my floor and my surface area. So let me clean just a little bit more area. Fair amount of dirt being picked up again by microfiber. Flush that mop out in my flushing tank side. Wring it out, then and only then go back into the clean solution. One last thing, with the double bucket system in particular, what you'll find is eventually the dirty side or the flushing tank side will fill. While your clean solution is being used, it will deplete. So eventually you will have to, although less frequently, you'll have to go back to the slop sink. The good news is, with the double bucket system from New Fiber, it's an easy cleanup. Just take this wringer off, set it off to the side, and it will stand upright. You don't have to lean it. And then notice that these are independent buckets, and that's by design. So whether you have a sink that's on the ground or above the floor, it's a quick dump, rinse, and cleanup scenario. So better cleaning and better and easier cleanup with the double bucket system. Give it a try.